Mikhail Gorbachev once said,
"We are witnessing most profound social change."
during his rule in the Soviet Union, he launched many cultural and economic reforms to modernize Russia, which created more freedom for his citizens and in doing so helped end the rule of the Communist Party in Russia and some Eastern European countries. Gorbachev was born in Stavropol, a small farming village, on March 2, 1931. He was raised Russian Orthodox. He attended Moscow State University from 1952 to 1955, where he met his wife and graduated with a law degree. In 1952, he joined the Communist Party. He opposed the previous Stalinist system because his grandfather had been punished for a crime he did not commit during Stalin's reign. After graduation, he worked for the local Communist Party organization, realizing that he needed to gain power and support from the party before making necessary changes to the government. After his impressive reforms to the local farms, he was given a position in the Central Committee of the Communist Party. In 1978, he was appointed the Secretariat of the Central Committee, which put him in charge of the nation's agriculture. While he was Secretariat, he participated in international negotiations, including meeting Margaret Thatcher, the Prime Minister of the UK. After a few years of being a member of the Political Bureau, in 1985, he was appointed the General Secretary of the Communist Party, which is the most powerful position in the Soviet Union of the time. He proposed economic reforms called perestroika. The economy was in decline, and Gorbachev wanted to modernize technology and make the economy a limited free market with less government interference. These reforms were met with criticism because they were ineffective. Gorbachev then launched a cultural reform called glasnost. This brought more democracy to the Union and more rights, specifically freedom of speech and press. In the long run, it allowed Russia to have more freedom and caused Eastern European countries to reform their communist governments. In 1986, Gorbachev announced his proposal for the elimination of nuclear weapons in order to save money to rebuild the economy and improve Western relations. He met with Ronald Reagan, President of the United States, to discuss terms of reducing the number of nuclear weapons to help end the Cold War. In 1990, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his actions. In addition, in 1988, he withdrew troops from Afghanistan, where he had been trying to support their communist government. In 1989, he ended the Brezhnev Doctrine, which stated that socialist governments should work together to suppress capitalism. He announced that the Soviet Union wouldn't help suppress revolts against other socialist governments in Eastern Europe. In 1988, Gorbachev amended the Russian constitution, creating a Soviet parliament with elected local councils. He also created an executive presidency that would be limited to 2 5-year terms. These changes signaled the end of the Communist Party's hold over the nation. In 1990, Gorbachev was appointed to the newly created position of the President of the USSR. By 1991, perestroika, the economic reform, had failed. The country had not moved quickly enough towards a complete market economy. The Soviet communist officials tried to overthrow Gorbachev because of his moves to decrease their power. While this did not succeed, the coup weakened his government. Meanwhile, other Soviet republics began to declare independence from the Union, which caused the creation of the Commonwealth of the Independent States. This gave more freedom to the separate republics, but there was still a central government that controlled the entire Commonwealth in issues of legislature, security, and trade. Gorbachev opposed the ending of the Soviet Union and resigned from the presidency shortly afterward on Christmas of 1991. He remained active in Russian politics, running unsuccessfully for president of Russia in 1996. Afterwards, he combined several moderate groups in the founding of the Social Democratic Party of Russia. During his reign, Mikhail Gorbachev succeeded in bringing Russia into Western civilization. He improved international relations, ended the Cold War, won the Nobel Peace Prize, and helped suppress communism by introducing democracy into the Russian government. Gorbachev once said,
"Progress towards the civilization of the 21st century will certainly not be simple or easy."
Even knowing this, he has dedicated his life to shaping Russia into the country it is today.